Hello. Hello. Have they released the form yet?
No, we haven't. We'll start in the next 2 or 3 minutes and we'll send the form on the Meet chat.
Have they released the form? Wait.
Yeah, and by the time
Sorry.
we start, all participants are requested to start turning on their cameras. Okay, ready.
Hello. Audible. Like Thank you everyone for joining in. We're going to start with the Open India quiz that us Conquistadors, the Quiz Society of Sri Venkateshwara College, is organizing in collaboration with the Northeast Students Association of our college. Thank you all for joining in and sending in your donations. It'll all go to some NGOs, including Gunj, which are helping with aid and relief in Assam. Thank you so much for contributing. I'll hand it over to Amlan and Zana.
Can I get the link, the Google form link?
Yeah, we'll be sending that.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to the India Quiz Prelims, which is the second quiz in the Fundraiser Quizzes for Assam series. And the quiz masters for the prelims will be Amlan and I, and the quiz has been prepared by Abhinav, Amlan, Ankit, Hetvi, Sonal, and I. The link for the forms has been shared in the chat box now. We thank the entire logistics team from the college for helping with the logistics of the quiz, which includes Arush, Bharat, Divya, Jeevanish, Christy, Romana, Shreyashi, Shruti, Sujit, and Tanisha. So the rules for the prelims are as follows. There are 20 questions in the prelims, and the prelims is worth a total of 24 points. Questions 11 to 15 are star marked and will help resolve ties. Questions 17 to 20 will have 2 parts each, and both of those parts are worth 1 point each. Blanks are indicative throughout the quiz unless mentioned otherwise. The top 8 teams will move to the finals. Please keep your camera switched on and hands visible throughout the length of the quiz. If you fail to do so, your team will be disqualified, and please refrain from using any unfair means. Yes, only one team member has to fill the form. Please do not fill 2 forms from the same team.
Zainab, sorry, just a second. Abhinav here. I would recommend both of you fill the form, because sometimes what happens, we close the form and you have an issue. So keep it, even though one of you only submits, I would suggest both of you fill the form, but only one of you submit. The other one is a backup just in case there is some issue.
Okay.
Yeah, please, you can continue.
It's still there. I'm pretty sure it's because of the Zoom meeting. Oh, never mind. It's okay.
It's going to change my internet connection.
No. It's all good.
Okay, so the first question. Inspired by an event that is observed in the first half of the year in the United States, a group of women came up with the idea of starting a similar project in India in 2013. The idea was further developed and discussed during discussions at the Color of Violence conference in Chicago. This annual observance, celebrated in the month of April, is a way of celebrating the history and culture of a certain community. In 2022, this was also recognized as an official event in British Columbia, Canada. Identify this annual observance. First question, fairly simple if you read it carefully. If you're looking for what to focus on, you can look at the italicized words. Okay, moving on to the next question. A syncretic tradition introduced in the Mughal period combined elements from Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Zoroastrianism, and Buddhism. While popular theory suggests that the conception was a new religion, S.A. Rizvi has argued that it was in fact a close sect of elites and nobles with not more than 18 members. It involved a ceremony where the followers had to pledge 4 decrees of loyalty: service to the emperor, religion, wealth, and honor. Members of this sect never gave up on their own religion, but their ultimate loyalty lay with the emperor. For instance, Raja Man Singh is believed to have said that the only religion I know is the one I was born in, but my life is for the emperor. What concept introduced in the 1580s is being talked about? The participants are requested to please mute themselves. Okay, moving on to question 3. One of the most popular delicacies eaten during Indian festivals, the joy of biting into these is unparalleled. Several theories have tried to explain a certain practice associated with their preparation. Firstly, it hides the spots present on the main ingredient of the dish, as well as the stains from the cardamom powder. Secondly, this contains antimicrobial properties, hence increasing shelf life. What practice is being explained? Yeah, if you're able to guess this delicacy, then I'm sure you'll be able to arrive at the answer. It's extremely popular, and I'm sure all of you have eaten these during festivities.
You're talking about one specific delicacy, or multiple delicacies have these this popular?
One specific delicacy.
So one specific delicacy has this, I mean, it's most recognizable in one specific delicacy, but it might be found now in other things also.
Yeah, the practice you might be able to see in other places as well, but it is most commonly associated with this. Moving on to the next question. Brazilian farmers first shipped 3 cattle breeds from India in 1850. The Ongole from southern India, the Kankraj and the X from western India to use for agriculture and beef. But when they found out about the large amounts of milk produced by X's, their purpose changed. Which 1400 square kilometer area, best known for a different animal, gives its name to this breed and is its natural habitat? Yeah. This is a picture of the said species. Yeah, I think we can go back to the text. I think Western India should give you an idea of what this place could be. Yeah, I think we can move to the next question. In 2012, a Mumbai-based auction house, Pandalis, was given Jahangir Bhaba's estate to auction off. Out of several items owned by him, there were many items in the catalogue that also belonged to his brother, including this antique study table. This is the picture of the study table. The uncle of a then 24-year-old happened to be running the auction house, who got his hands on the catalogue of the auction, and his eyes fell onto this table. He went up to his father and asked him to bid for the table. The proceeds from the auctioning off of the entire estate went to the National Center for Performing Arts, or NCPA, who aptly bought his desk. You should look at who was the initial owner of the desk, and who do you think has aptly bought this desk now, and why this question is being asked now.
Just a clarification here. Do you want the name of the 24-year-old, or do you want the name of the father who bought? Do you want the what do you exactly want? The name of the 24-year-old, or just how?
We want the name of the current owner. Who is the current owner?
Yeah, I'll just clarify that. So this person was 24 years old then, that is in 2012. So today he's around 34, let's say. So that is the person that we're looking for. That's the answer.
Thanks. That'll do.
Yeah, moving on to the next question. The first 3 national championships in this sport took place in Calcutta from 1977 to 1979, while the city has also held 2 world championships, 1980 and 1986. and the inaugural Asian Championship in 2000, whereas Guwahati has been the other Indian city to have hosted both. Identify this sport with moves such as hook, top roll, press, and back pressure, and fouls such as slip out. Fairly easy question. Focusing on the moves and fouls, I think, should be enough to practice. Going to the 7th question now. A number of camps have been held in war-torn Afghanistan over the past few years by this organization to help those affected by the violence in war, especially landmines. Through collaboration with Afghan ministries, thousands of people have been helped by this organization by providing an object free of cost that has enabled them mobility and dignity. What does this organization provide? Something invented by a craftsman and a doctor at Savai Man Singh Medical College. So focus on the profession of this person, which is a craftsman and a doctor, and look at the context of where it is being provided. And yeah, the italicized words are, of course, the rules.
You need a paper now?
Yeah.
We have to name a particular object here.
Yeah, it's a particular object and the answer contains a particular proper noun.
It's a generic proper noun, right?
Not a very generic proper. I mean, it's a proper noun. Yeah, moving on to the 8th question. Before the Statue of Unity dethroned it, the Spring Temple Buddha in Henan, China was the world's tallest statue. Depicting Gautam Buddha in the Vairocana position, the work on the statue started in 2002 in the aftermath of something happening over 4,000 kilometers westward. What event triggered the building of the giant Buddha at Spring Temple?
Will a brief description do for the answer, or do you want the exact terms?
Yeah, the description or the name.
So the description will do, right?
Yeah, but there are some particular keywords we're looking for, like where the event happened. So those things. Yeah.
Fine. Do you want the country will do, or do you want the exact region or something?
No, the country will do, but you need to describe the event.
Sure.
At least. Yeah, moving on to the 9th question. So, fairly easy and very short question. The flagship brand of the Madhya Pradesh State Cooperative Dairy Federation Limited is named after a tourist attraction site. What is it called? It's like a very obvious answer, so I think everybody will be able to get this. Yeah, I think we can move on to the 10th question. The James Beard Foundation Awards are an annual presentation ceremony to recognize culinary professionals in the United States. The latest recipient of the Most Outstanding Restaurant Award is an Indian eatery in Asheville. This restaurant serves vibrant and crunchy street food. The name of this restaurant is a two-word phrase which is also used as a euphemism for bribery in India. Identify this restaurant. It's fairly topical. If you've been checking out the newspaper these days, I'm sure you know what the answer is. And the second paragraph is an additional. Yeah, yeah, over to you now.
All right. Thank you, Zainab. So the star mark questions begin from here on, and questions 11 to 15 are star mark. They'll be used to resolve the ties. Moving on to question 11. So multiple reasons were given for an incident that took place a little over 4 decades ago. Almost all of these reasons revolved around, in some way or the other, the reckless nature of the person involved. Subhas Saxena, who was the other person involved in this incident, had also been declared medically unfit for carrying out the task. And according to some other people, the person mentioned in the first paragraph, ignored the advice given by their brother to wear proper shoes and went ahead with Kolhapuri chappals. So, which incident is being talked about? I need the name of a person and whatever happened to them.
We need both the incident and the person involved.
Yeah, so I do not need, say, something like theft. I need theft by whom? Or so the incident is, I mean, if you get the person, you'll get the incident. And this is someone who is reckless and who were advised by their brother to wear proper shoes. The timeline should also help. I'll move on to the next question now. Alright. So Himalayan mineral water is a range of bottles by Tata. Some of those bottles come with a label carrying a painting of the mountains under a pinkish sky. Whose work has Tata used in its packaging of these bottles? It's a brand called Himalayan. And
Are you showing the
Is there a
photograph?
picture or something?
no, there is no picture. The picture would be a very giveaway thing. It's a painting of the mountains. The brand is called Himalayan. Whose work would Tata
You are
possibly use?
looking for some element or the name of the painting.
I'm looking for the name of the creator, the person. It's the painting of mountains under the brand name Himalayan. So whose work would Tata possibly be using for making these bottles? Okay, I'll move to the next question. So I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but this is a quintessential Bengaluru snack consisting of split, de-skinned and roasted peanuts, which are spiked with a tangy spice mix and garnished with fried up curry leaves. This has its origins in the Iyengar bakeries around Old Bangalore, which have been an integral part of the city's culture. The current name of this dish comes from a certain split, since the peanuts used are always split in half. This split occurred in the late 1960s, and so they named this dish as a reference to the split as an attempt to poke fun at the then prevailing political situation. So simply fill in the blanks or let us know what did they decide to nickname the dish. It's a late 1960s split.
One word will do, right?
One word will do, yes.
You are looking for some two-word. You just mentioned so one word.
Yeah, one word will do. The operative part is just one word. Or the colloquial way of saying it would also be just one word. So yeah, one word will do. All right, I'll move to the next question. So journalist and academic Tejas H is the founder of a news and information portal that brings out reportage and writings on the anti-caste movement. Hailing from Maharashtra, Tejas has named his website after a late 19th century collective that rejected Brahmanism and Brahminic philosophies and tried to create a radical alternate way of living, which included educating women and members of lower castes, promoting egalitarian and intercaste marriages, and opposing child marriages. Which collective is Tejas's website named after? It carries information on the anti-caste movement. Tejas himself hails from Maharashtra, and this is a late 19th century collective.
You need name of some person.
No, I don't need a name of a person. I need the name of a movement or a collective.
Excuse me, you want the name of the person or what?
I don't want the name of a person. I want the name of the collective. I want the name of a movement. I want the name of a group of people together. What were they called?
Amlan,
Yes.
when you say late 20th century, late 19th century, sorry, how late are we talking? Are we talking mid late or like what?
Late 19th century, I don't think there, I mean, I don't think I want to divulge further about that. Look at the fact that that Tejas is from Maharashtra. This was a movement that rejected Brahminic ideas and philosophies.
If we give if we give a name instead of a movement,
You will not get
Yeah, like the person who like founded the
yeah.
movement.
Can we give the surname for part points?
if you we'll see that later. You'll definitely not get a star for that. We'll take a call on the other part later. Write whatever you know, but ideally I would want the name of the collective. All right, I'll move to the next question. This is the final star mark question. So in his book, The Billionaire Raj, author James Crabtree talks about how the British Raj has today been replaced by entrepreneurs and politicians who work symbiotically to create exclusive crony capitalism. To refer to new age billionaires like Vijay Mallya, Ambani, Adani, Crabtree uses a pun or a portmanteau, combining a word for the Indian movie industry with a similar aforementioned system in another country. So, in another country where there's a system of entrepreneurs and politicians working symbiotically, what word does he use to refer to these new age billionaires?
So we have to give the combined word.
Yeah, the combined word, a portmanteau or a pun that combines these two elements, the movie industry and a similar symbiotical system in a different country, much more famous in that country, sort of synonymous with that country and its powerful people. Okay, I'll move on to question 16. This is the end of the star mark questions. So this iconic entity has been embroiled in several controversies due to its brand identity. After the shutting of their Mumbai branch, the opposing forces declared it as a win for themselves, but the owners maintained that the place was shut down simply due to expiration of the lease and increasing rent. Moreover, the owner also stated that despite the opposition and defamation, they would never change their identity, further saying, "We have to carry our legacy forward. I used to go to the store after school ever since I was 9 years old. We have emotional ties with the brand." While this brand is not new to controversies, it came into spotlight again after a certain incident in 2019. Which entity and controversies associated with it is being discussed? Uh, your answer should have two keywords.
Are you looking for more than 2 words?
No, 2 words should be enough. So this is something whose identity has been mired in controversy, and in 2019 too there was sort of some issues. So
You're
I
looking
want
for both the words as a proper noun, right? The
no,
entity.
both the words need not be proper nouns. But I need 2 words in your answer.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure both the words are not proper nouns. And the Mumbai branch isn't, I would say it's not the main operation hub of this place.
No, but okay. Just to clarify, when you say that there's some entity, right? If it has some name, for example, let me give you an example. New Delhi railway station, right?
Yeah.
So the all 4 words, even though railway and station are not proper nouns, New Delhi railway station in itself is a proper noun, right? The 4-word proper noun.
Yeah, so something like that. Say if you say film city
I
is
think
not
we
a proper
got it.
noun. Yeah. I'll move to the next question.
Yeah, you should move.
So the 2 pointers begin from here. The last 4 questions are for 2 points each. So in Salman Rushdie's Midnight's Children, Dr. Nardikar, a gynecologist, gets into the business of producing certain physical structures which will make it possible for him to reclaim the land from the sea. These structures look like symbol for fertility, so women start worshipping it. Dr. Nardikar tries to stop them and ends up getting killed by the protesters who see him pushing the women. What structures does Nardikar get obsessed with? And where in India can they most famously be seen? So, look at the fact that he's reclaiming land.
Where can you, where in India can they most famously be seen? These are seen in a lot of places.
So there's one place which has a very long going association with these things, and people would directly, I mean, the first place you would think of it probably is this place, even if you do not know that there are other places where you can see them, you would know of this one place.
Generic terms or specific?
Slightly specific.
So I'm assuming that since I don't know which one you're going to accept multiple answers which are correct on this.
Is this have to be some specific geography or?
Yeah, this is a
Very
specific geography and a little and slightly more specific geography. This is something being used to reclaim land from the sea. I recognize that this can be in use in multiple places, but usually the first association people would make, even if they are not aware of other places making use of this, is this one place.
Okay, so Amlan, okay, I'll just rephrase my question. The most famous place that I can think of, they don't use it to reclaim land, they use it to prevent erosion. There is another place where they use it to reclaim land. So which one do you want? The most famous place where it's not used, where it's used to prevent erosion, or where it's used to reclaim land? Which one?
Come on. Enough.
I think we have got it. You should know.
I'll suggest that you write the first answer when you think of this thing without its reclamation associate. When you just think of this thing, the first place that comes to your mind, I would suggest that you write about that. I'll move on to the next question. So shown in the right is a famous work by an American painter. The reason this person features as an Indian quiz is because of the accolades won by his granddaughter. When she was discussing her work, she explained how alliteration and puns in the original made her task difficult, but eventually she was able to create a similar sort of playfulness in whatever she did. So, who is this granddaughter, and why do we know of her right now? What recent announcement catapulted her into international fame?
So you have to just give name of the granddaughter, and not the painter.
No, no, not the painter, the granddaughter. All right, I'll move to the next question. So, a certain city in Himachal Pradesh is often touted as a mini Israel of India because of the large number of tourists and settled Israeli population that visits this place. Lined with German bakeries and eateries serving Israeli delicacies, this place, tucked in the Himalayas, serves as a relaxing retreat for the citizens after rendering military service. To make this population feel more at home, an unsaid practice has been adopted by all shops and restaurants. The said practice helps enforce a sense of familiarity in a foreign land. So, which city in Himachal Pradesh, and what is this practice that you would see very frequently when you go there? It is close to Israeli populations, and there are a lot of bakeries that serve Israeli delicacies. People would feel more at home. So, what is this practice? All right, we'll go to the last question of the quiz of the prelims. So founded in 1927 in Chennai, the cheapest newspaper in the country sells for 75 paise a piece today. An evening paper that has a circulation of about 22,000. It depends on katibs, a profession that is now on its verge of extinction. The newspaper, running in Urdu, is titled in a similar fashion to another much more famous Chennai-based newspaper that was founded in 1878 and became a daily in 1889. So, who are katibs who play a crucial role in the creation of this newspaper, and what is it titled? If you are a little confused as to what it might be titled, look at the fact that it runs in Urdu. It can help. It can help you narrow down your answer.
You want the names of both the newspapers or just one?
Just one, just the Urdu newspaper that was founded in 1927. All right, we'll quickly cycle back through all the 20 questions of the prelims. I'll hand it over to Zainab to run you through the first 10 questions.
Yeah, so in the first question, we're looking for a particular observance in the month of April, which was inspired by another event which has been long celebrated which has been long observed in the United States. And it is celebrated in the initial months of the year, the event in the United States. There are mainly two keywords in this answer. If you get it, you will get full points. And the second question. Yeah, a syncretic tradition introduced in the 1580s in the Mughal period. Although it's popularly believed that it's a new religion, scholars have argued that it is in fact not, and it was like a close sect of elites and nobles. What is being talked about? Question 3. Yeah, then again, we're looking for the name of a popular delicacy with which a certain practice is associated, to make it look more beautiful and increase its shelf life. So you have to identify the practice. Question 4. Once again, we're looking for the name of a natural habitat of this species of cow. The picture is on the next slide. And yeah, it's located in the western part of India, and it is more famous for another animal. And that you will particularly associate that place with the other animal, but actually it gets its name from the species of an ox, also of cattle. Yeah. This is the picture if it helps. Moving on to question 5. Yes, so here a desk has been bought in an auction, and the desk originally belonged to Jahangir Baba's estate. A very important hint for this question is the National Center for Performing Arts. So who is this person who has aptly bought this desk? So think about why this question is being asked right now. And you have to give the name of this 24-year-old, who was then 24-year-old, so currently he is 34. Yeah, this is a picture of the desk. Question 6. So you have to identify this sport with moves such as hook, top roll, press, and back pressure, and fouls such as slip out. So Calcutta and Guwahati are the two places where most national championships of the sport have been held. And yeah, focus on the moves and the fouls, and you'll get this. Yeah, here we're looking for basically like a 2-word answer, which includes a proper noun. And yeah, focus on the context, which is war torn Afghanistan, and something that is being used to provide mobility and dignity. And it has been created by a craftsman who's also a doctor. So yeah, what could be this object? Question number 8. You have to tell us what event triggered the building of the Buddha at the Spring Temple. And what will help you arrive at the answer is an event that happened 4,000 kilometers westward. So look at the timeline and yeah, think about what this event could be. And if you could, estimate what 4,000 kilometers westward would approximately be the area. So I think you'll get this. Yeah, this very short question. What is the name of the Madhya Pradesh State Cooperative Dairy, which is named after a tourist attraction? So think about the location, tourist attraction. And yeah, you have to give us the name of the restaurant in Asheville, which has won the most outstanding restaurant award. And you can arrive at the answer by looking at the second paragraph, which is that the name is a 2-word phrase, which is also used as a euphemism for bribery in India.
Star mark questions from 11 to 15. First of this, who is this person and what incident about him? Reckless nature. They were advised by their brother to wear proper shoes, but they chose not to, which led to the incident happening. So I need the name of a person and the incident. Whose work has Tata used in some bottles
Excuse
of...
me.
Yeah.
This
Go on.
this event happened before 1982, right? Question number 11.
Yes.
By 4 decades.
Yeah, somewhere around 4 decades ago. Yes. All right. So whose work has Tata used in its packaging, where they use a painting of a mountain? It's called Himalayan mineral water. I'll go to the next question. So since the dish uses split peanuts, something split in the late 1960s and gave the dish its colloquial nickname. I'm looking for one word. Next question. So what collective
Excuse
is...
me.
Yes.
Could you please tell if it's a word from a local Indian language or an English word? Question number 13.
I'll just say that it's something that wasn't confined to Karnataka.
Means we have to give the name from the local language, or the English word would be enough.
English word would be enough. I don't think there's any local word for it. All right. So what is Tejas's website named after? It was a collective in late 19th century that rejected Brahminism, that that wanted to educate women and lower castes, promoted egalitarian and intercaste marriages, opposed child marriages. Tejas hails from Maharashtra. All right. Final star mark question. So what term, a portmanteau or a pun using the movie industry and a symbiotic wealth creation system in a different country, does James Crabtree use to describe the situation, the current situation of new age billionaires? We'll go to the next question. So which entity whose brand identity is often mired in controversy and they have said that they'll not change, they'll keep continuing to carry their legacy forward? I need 2 words in this answer. 2 pointers. I said that think about where you would come across these structures, where you would most famously associate these structures with, and it can have more than one purpose. But I'll move to the next question. So identify the granddaughter and her recent claim to fame, a recent announcement which has led to all of us knowing about her. So some practice in a city in Himachal Pradesh, which would make the huge number of Israeli tourists and settled populations feel that they are at home. Final question. So who are the Khatibs and what is the newspaper titled? Focus on the fact that it runs in Urdu, which can help you narrow down on your answer a lot. Also, named in similar fashion to another famous Chennai-based newspaper. It depends on Khatibs for its creation. It's a profession that is now on the verge of extinction. So that's 20 questions of the prelims. We'll wait for 1 minute. Sujit?
Yeah.
We'll wait
Let me
for
know
1
when
minute
to.
before closing the form. Please just go through your answers once again before you click submit. And I would invite Christy to take over in the meanwhile.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christy, the outgoing General Secretary of the Northeast Students Association of Sri Venkateshwara College. I wouldn't take much of your time. First of all, I'd like to thank Conquistators for this collaboration and this initiative. Know that any contribution, big or small, that you guys have made is going to be a big and a great help to people from the flood affected areas. And also, I'd like to say that some of the volunteers from NESA are also collecting donations in kind. So if you're from Delhi or if you live around or near Venki, do feel free to contact one of our organizers if you wish to donate any sort of item for the people from the flood affected areas. I guess that's it. Thank you so much, and I would also like to thank all the quiz masters for coming up with a great set. Thank you.
Hello guys, we'll close the form in the next 10 seconds. So please ensure you submit before that.
Can you just wait a second? There's some network glitch happening at my co-mate's end. Just
okay.
yeah, something.
Any other team that is left to submit the form, we'll move on to the answers. We'll not accept fresh forms once we do that. All right, we'll begin the answers. I'll just share my screen. Yeah. Zainab.
Yeah, so the first question, you can unmute yourself if you want to give the answer.
Dalit History Month and Black History Month.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. This is Dalit History Month, which is celebrated in the month of April.
Dalit History. Okay.
The next question. Yeah,
This is Akbar's Deen
Yeah.
Dinne Lahi.
Yes, Deen Lahi is the correct answer.
Yeah.
And question
This
number
is
3.
the
Son Papdi. Kaju Katli silver foil.
Yeah, the silver foil or the chandi work on Kaju Barfis is indeed the correct answer.
Does only Kaju Katli get us points?
No, because we asked you what practice which is associated with this delicacy, so only Kaju Barfi.
Just in case there's another alternative answer, like for example, silver on gujiyas or something, is that acceptable, or would you consider it like when there's a tie?
We'll look into that later, but we were looking for this answer and we had mentioned the most common delicacy that is what we wanted.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so
Gir
this
cows.
which
Run of Kutch.
This
Run
is
of
the
Kutch.
Gir
Gir, Gir.
no, this is the Gir. This is the Sasan Gir or the Gir National Forest in Gujarat, and yeah, it is most famous for its lions.
So if you have just written Gujarat, you're not going to give points, right? Though it's called Gujaras. Right?
No, that is a different breed, Siddharth. That is a different
Okay.
breed.
That's a
Gujara is a
different. All cows look the same to me in zoology.
So what TIL?
Do they taste the same?
Okay, yeah.
Jim Sir.
Cyrus Mistry. Cyrus Mistry?
Yeah. No, Jim Sar is actually the correct
Jim
answer.
Sar.
He
Okay.
played the character in Rocket Boys, and that is
Part points for describing that the actor who played Homi Baba
Rocket
in
Boys.
Boys did not know the name.
We will look into it. We will look into it.
Thank you.
that later. Yeah.
Arm
question
wrestling.
number 6.
Arm wrestling. Arm wrestling.
Yes, arm wrestling is the correct
Correct.
answer. So slip out would have helped you arrive at the answer. Question number 7.
Jaipur
This
food.
is
Jaipur
the
food.
Bamiyan Buddhas.
No, Jaipur food.
The
This is 7
Bamiyan
Jaipur food.
Jaipur foot is the
Oh,
correct
sorry,
answer,
this
which
is
is
the
a
Jaipur food, yeah.
prosthetic leg.
Will prosthetic limbs get us points? Part
We're looking
points.
for a proper noun. Yeah, part points we'll see, but we're looking for Jaipur at least.
All
Yeah,
right.
just-
This is the
Taliban
Buddha.
bombing in Afghanistan.
Yeah, this one
Bamiyan
is
Buddha.
Bamiyan Buddha.
Bamiyan
Son
Buddha
of
temple
Bamiyan Buddha.
destruction by Taliban.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. This is the demolition of the Bamiyan Buddhas
So
in
demolition by Taliban in Afghanistan of the Buddhas gets us points, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Sanchi.
Sanchi. Yeah.
Sanchi.
Sanchi is indeed the correct answer.
Sanchi is to-
I think it was a very obvious correlation.
Sanchi stupa would be accepted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it contains the name.
Yeah.
Asta Pani.
Under table.
Under table. Under table.
Chai Pani.
Chai
This is
Pani
chai
is the
pani.
correct answer.
Ah,
Chai.
Chai.
not Kharcha Pani.
This one was from current affairs.
Yeah, I said it's a very topical question.
So
That is
Sanjay Gandhi's
Sanjay Gandhi
crash.
death. Sanjay Gandhi death.
Sanjay Gandhi's
Smiling
death or
Buddha?
Sanjay Gandhi's plane crash would get you points.
Answer.
Correct.
This is Nicholas Roerich. So this is his painting that they have put it on the bottle. It's called Artist's Edition. I think this particular painting, they are calling it Nanda Devi or yeah. So they mention his name and this is his painting. So this is Nicholas Roerich, famous for painting Himalayan pictures on the bottle of Himalayan water. Congress split. So this is the split of Congress in 1969 into Congress O and Congress R. So
Congress will do, right? Because that was
Congress will do.
Satyashodhak Samaj by Phule.
Satyashodhak Samaj.
Yeah, Satya.
So the website is called the Satyashodhak. The answer I was looking for is Satyashodhak Samaj or
We get points for
Satyashodhak.
Phule.
We'll look into
Jyotibai
it.
and Savitribai.
We'll look into it if there is a tie. I don't think we are giving points separately for that because I really wanted the movement, not just the police.
Okay, thank you.
Oligarchs.
Oligarch.
Oligarchs is
Bollywood
correct.
and oligarch.
So Bollywood and oligarchs making oligarchs.
This is the Karachi
Bakery.
This is the Karachi Bakery. There are the controversies around its name, which keep popping up every now and then.
Tetrapods and
Tetrapods.
Marine Drive.
Tetrapods and marine drive. So yes, they are used in marine.
Did you want tetrapods? Because I wrote the anti-tsunami rocks. So, I did write marine drive.
Okay, I think we'll give you 1 point for marine drive. We'll look into the anti-tsunami bit.
All right.
This is
Daisy Rockwell. Daisy Rockwell
and
that translation.
Booker's
Translation
Man
of?
Book International. Man Book
that Tomb of Sand. Tomb of Sand. That.
Tomb of
Yes,
Sand
you
by
need
Gitanjali
to
Shri.
have Tomb of Sand or Rit Samadhi
Yes,
in
yes,
your
yes.
answer
Written,
for the
written.
point, and
Oh.
Daisy Rockwell will fetch you 1 point.
You just didn't want
you aren't giving
like
any
the
points for
announcement.
winning the Booker for her translation.
So I want the work mentioned. More than the Booker, I want the work mentioned, which led
If
to
you've
the
written
Booker.
only the book name, then do we get marks?
Translating Rit Samadhi or translating like writing Tomb of Sand will give you marks.
Cool, thank you.
Because the focus of the question, like the content of the question was on her working with alliterations and puns. So focus more on the work than the award.
So okay, we went with
1 point for
recent
Daisy
announcement.
Rockwell.
So didn't mention the work.
The recent announcement of her work winning the award. So I want the work.
Okay,
I'll give you
The
half
work
for
was
just
not
the
recent, right?
international.
Only the announcement was
yeah.
recent, right?
No, the work was also in the last 1
I
year,
mean,
right?
Announcement was more recent, right?
Yeah,
Wait,
but
just see if you can give half or something.
yeah, half for just international Booker Prize. If you have mentioned Rit Samadhi, then I'll give you full points. Rit Samadhi or Tomb of Sand. Question 19.
So this is
Kasol and Hebrew.
Kasol and
Hebrew
and Hebrew signboards in Kasol.
Kasol is right. Okay.
Kasol is right. So
is English
Kasol,
important? Just Hebrew is not.
Yeah, will
just
Hebrew
Hebrew
plus-
is fine.
plus point?
Just Hebrew is fine. Kasol and Hebrew.
This is
Just
Katims are
Musliman.
basically calligraphers.
Calligraphers.
Scribe or
Katims
calligraphy.
are calligraphers. Yes.
Calligraphy.
Musalman.
Musalman.
It's
Musalman,
called
yeah.
the Musalman.
Correct.
So that's
Excuse me.
Will
We have written handwritten. Would it be correct?
Yeah,
so
handwritten instead of calligraphy.
Handwritten. We have written handwritten.
no. So the paper is handwritten, but it is handwritten by the calligraphers. It is not.
Yeah.
So
So
ordinary people cannot do it because there are trained calligraphers who carry this out. They
Will
depend
you
on the
accept scribes?
calligraphers.
you
I
we
mean,
can call them
we'll get
other
point
things,
for
right? Like
handwritten.
scribes.
Will you accept scribes?
We'll look into that. I'll announce.
Just
I
another
mean,
query.
yes.
Will you accept the Muslim as a variant of the Muslim?
No. That's why I said that. Also focus that it is running in Urdu. I said that it will help you narrow down your answer in more than one ways. So,
All right.
So
yeah.
like